Welcome back to The Law Show. I'm attorney Brian Dailey, broadcasting live from high atop the Law Show studios, and we are overlooking the greatest spectacle known to Irish man in society. The river has been dyed green. What a lovely sight that is. I can't wait to get down there real close to it. I'm going to be broadcasting, answering all your legal questions, but what a great tradition that is. The only place in the world that I know of that happens, and what a beautiful emerald green river. So we're going to be overlooking the emerald green river, and we're going to be broadcasting live from high atop the Law Show studios on the 890 AM WLS. It's The Law Show. I'm Brian Dailey, host of The Law Show, founder of the Dailey Law Firm, answering all your legal questions. If you have a legal question, call us right now at 855-LAW-SHOW. That's 855-529-7469. That's 855-529-7469. We'll be answering all your legal questions. There's a couple of things that I want to talk to you about before I get to the phones, and the phones are hopping. If you've got a question you want to call, you better get calling right now at 855-529-7469. But I often talk about this, and this is the statute of limitations. It's really important that if you think you have a legal claim or a legal dispute with somebody, that you find out how much time you have to bring that claim. Simply sitting down with a lawyer to determine the amount of time that you have to bring that claim, and if that claim is a good claim, shouldn't cost you anything. Any lawyer worth their salt ought to be able to sit down with you for no initial fee, for a free initial consultation, and tell you what you're looking at. We do that at the Dailey Law Firm all week long, day in, day out, all the time. And you should be able to do that. If you can't find another lawyer that will do that, call us at 855-529-7469, and we'll get you in right away. But on the statute of limitations, those are timing issues. The courts in Illinois and the state legislature only gives you so much time to bring your claim. For example, if you need to sue a doctor or a hospital for committing malpractice, and we do this every day. We have hundreds of malpractice clients and claims right now going, it's 2 years, okay? In a different state, it may be different. In Michigan, it's 2 years. In general, most medical malpractice cases have to be brought within 2 years. But each different claim is different and has a different statute of limitations, so you owe it to yourself to be able to make an informed and intelligent decision, to sit down with somebody and talk to them about, first of all, do you have a claim? And if you do have a claim, how soon do you got to bring it? Because you don't want to be too late. I got to tell you, I got a call not long ago from somebody in Chicago. Fabulous medical malpractice case. I mean, obviously it's a bad injury. It's terrible for them, but I could have gotten all of their bills paid. I could have gotten their wage loss covered. It's a multi-million-dollar case, but they waited 6 months too long. There's nothing I can do about it. It's heartbreaking. It's absolutely heartbreaking. Please don't break my heart. Call me at 855-529-7469, and I'll tell you whether or not you got a claim, and if you do, when you got to pursue that claim. We're going to answer all your questions right now at 855-529-7469. That's 855-529-7469. We're going to talk to Karen. Karen, welcome to the Law Show. Karen, you're on the Law Show. You're on the air. Everybody in Chicagoland can hear you talking.
Okay. I called because I have a question. I was wondering if a judge can take money from an IRA if he decided to, charge you for a fine that they gave you, but then they passed, they said you didn't have to pay the fine, but then if they wanted to come back after you, would they be able to take your IRA money?
In general, and this is a generality, IRAs, 401ks, other retirement benefits, so long as they are not commingled, are not subject to garnishment no matter what. Now, what do I mean by commingled? So let's say, for example, somebody's on Social Security disability, all right?
Uh-huh.
But they're also getting a stipend from their father, or their recently passed father's trust, and they mix those two things together, right? You can't. Those are subject. All those funds are subject to garnishment and attachment because they've been mixed with other non-exempt funds. Right now, what you've got, if you've got an IRA with only tax-free, pre-tax dollars in it, they can't attach that. Okay. But tell me, why are they claiming that they're going to do this?
Well, no, they didn't say that they were going to do it. It's not for myself. It's for my son. But there was a case, and then they were going to put a fine on the case, but instead they didn't put the fine on the case. But now he wanted to know if they can come back like in a year or two or whatever they want.
What kind of case was it?
It was a federal case.
It was a federal case. And
right.
What was your son accused of doing?
Well, that doesn't have anything to do with it. I mean, I can't tell you that.
Okay, and so they fined your son for doing whatever it was they claimed he did?
Well, they were going to give him a fine, but then they waived it. They didn't give him the fine.
Why did they waive the fine?
I don't know, because they gave him time in jail?
Okay, well, listen, I don't think that if they waive the fine, they're going to come back and try to fine you again. Now, when he gets out of prison or jail, he'll have some measure of parole or probation. There may be some oversight fees and things like that. But those are still non-exempt. They can't get a hold of that. And if anybody says anything different to you...
They can't come after it.
What?
I mean, it's in his name, so they can't come after it.
That's correct. As long as it is exempt from collection, and if it's a retirement account, IRA, if it's not been commingled, then he should be okay. But if anybody tells you different, call us, and we'll sit down and talk with you, okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks for calling the Law Show. We're going to continue answering all your legal questions at 855-529-7469. You can also email your questions to questions@thelawshow.com, and I'll get an answer out to you right away. Most times I get back with people today after the show, and we'll do that same thing for you as well, so you can get out and start reveling in honor of St. Patrick, who drove the snakes out of Ireland. You know, my father used to tell me that, and I said, Dad, there's no snakes in Ireland. He said, see? He used to do this other thing where he would snap his fingers. I'd say, why are you snapping your fingers? He'd say, I'm trying to keep the elephants away. I'd say, there's no elephants here. And he'd say, see, it works. Anyway, I'm answering all your legal questions at 855-529-7469. We're going to talk to Dan right now. Dan, welcome to the Law Show.
Hello, how are you doing? I'm
fine, thank you. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. My question is, I had a couple of and my insurance company, I got full coverage insurance on my car. I to an estimator who estimated my damage on both accidents at more than what my deductible was. However, I managed to get my less than the deductible as accident. But the insurance company wrote the checks out to me and the body shop. Body shop wouldn't accept the checks. The insurance company refuses to reissue the checks.
Are you trying
to I have a case?
Are you trying to get your car fixed, or you just want to keep the money?
No, I had to pay for it out of my pocket. I'm trying to recoup my losses. The insurance company estimated the damages is over $2,000.
Okay, and they cut a check to you and the body shop?
Yes.
And they won't is the body shop paid in full?
The body shop is paid in full.
And he won't sign over the check to you?
No, they did sign over the checks to me, but my bank refused to accept the checks.
Well, you need to get a different bank. That doesn't make any sense. That's ridiculous. If they endorse the check over to you and the check is still good, then you should find another bank that will do that for you. Okay?
But now the check's sitting in the insurance company's office because they were supposed to reissue the checks directly to me. They're refusing to do it now.
All right. Well, here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to email me a rundown of the facts and circumstances that you're dealing with, and I'm going to email back to you some places that you can write letters to. It's not smart for you to get a lawyer involved in this because it's going to take all your money away. It's only $2,000. But I can tell you how to deal with this, all right? And I'll do that in an email, no charge. So just email me questions@thelawshow.com. Can you do that for me?
Sure can.
Email me questions@thelawshow.com, and I'll be on top of it, all right?
All right.
Thanks for calling the Law Show. We're going to continue answering all your legal questions at 855-529-7469. That's 855-529-7469. It's really important. My approach to practicing law is to be highly successful for my clients. But that doesn't mean necessarily that I'm going to take everybody to court. If I can resolve somebody's issue with just a phone call and not have to send them a bill for my time to do that, then that's what I'm going to do. And I'll give you a good example of that. I got a call from a fellow the other day, and he said he was a combat decorated veteran, of all people. And he was buying a house through the VA, Veterans Administration. He got a loan. He was all approved and everything ready to go. He goes to the closing, and they do a final credit check. And all of a sudden, up pops this judgment that somebody took against him 10 years before. It was a judgment arising out of his co-signing a loan for somebody who defaulted. Now, I'll get into the 3 rules of co-signing, and those are: you never co-sign a loan, you never co-sign a loan, and you never co-sign a loan. Those are the three rules of co-signing. But anyway, he didn't follow that rule. He co-signed this loan. The person defaulted on the loan, and then they declared bankruptcy. So the bankruptcy trustee came back and sued him and got a judgment, and he couldn't go forward with it. So I talked to him, and he didn't have the money to hire me, and I didn't want to take his money for something that simple. I said, why don't you just call the trustee and explain to him you're a combat decorated veteran, you're buying a house. This is something that arose out of a co-signed loan, and maybe they'll drop it. And by golly, they sure did. So just because somebody is telling you that they're not going to do something doesn't mean that you can't get something done. Why don't you call me if you have those simple, easy questions, and I'll do the best I can to get you through it without having to send you a bill for legal expenses and legal fees. I really enjoy doing that. We're here about relationships. I'm not here just to get cases so I can earn money. I'm here about relationships with all my listeners and all my clients. I love being able to say that I have clients that have been with me for 25 years and wouldn't ever think of going to another lawyer. Now that's loyalty, and that is something that I greatly prize and greatly appreciate. I'm attorney Brian Dailey. I'm host of The Law Show, heard every Saturday on 890 AM WLS. I am founder of the Daily Law Firm with offices soon to be all over the country, but for now, Detroit, Chicago, and Florida. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll be answering all your legal questions, so stay tuned. Make sure and stay safe while you're celebrating St. Patrick's Day in the driving of the snakes from the Emerald Isle. I'll be right back. You stay tuned. We'll be answering your legal questions in just a minute.